We are here for goodness sake. Hello family, this is Carol Worth with Paul LLC. Welcome to our second season of the Goodness Forum, where goodness and positivity are openly discussed and amplified. Our topic today is a stand for love, and our guest is Jacque Lynn. Sorry. So introduce yourself to our audience and tell them a little bit about you.
Okay, well, my name is Jacque Lynn, and I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I currently live in Spokane, and I am a mother of two, and I own my own business. I'm a hairstylist, and I specialize in extensions and braiding.
Fantastic. You and I first met Jacque because she comes through the Starbucks that I work at, and we just hit it off because she is such a bright star. And by the way, the background noise you're hearing is Aniyah, her daughter, who may come on camera or not. Come here, girl. All right, here we go. This is Aniyah, and so today we're going to talk about this fantastic attitude that Jacque has and her just amazing way of being. She also has a son, Aidan, that she's going to talk about, who is also an extraordinary person. So tell us a little bit about your background and your story.
Okay, well, so as I said, I'm a mother of two. My oldest son, Aidan, is 8 years old. And it's funny because, as I was telling you before, I always said I would never get married and never have children.
Right.
And somehow I ended up married and having children.
Right, and they say if you want to make God smile, tell him your plans.
Exactly, and that's exactly what happens. So the unique thing about our story is that my son was born with spina bifida. And so he has paralysis below the knees.
Gotcha.
And so in addition to all of a sudden being a mother,
right.
There was this gift presented to us of having a child with spina bifida. And I really say that it was a gift because I wouldn't be as nurturing.
Gotcha.
You know, like, spina bifida really caused me to really be in tune with my son,
right,
and really show him that he was able to just be anything he wanted to be.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna read the quote today. We always have a quote, and this is from Dr. Martin Luther King, and it is: "The measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge." And you shared a little bit with me about, your journey. So I would love for you to talk to the audience because, they see you right now and you're just as shining and, wonderful, but it probably wasn't always that way. And some people might be experiencing tough times right now and would love to hear how you triumph.
Okay. Well, first of all, I found out that Aidan would have spina bifida when he was about 4 months in utero.
Okay.
My specialist, I had a wonderful specialist in Houston. Everyone just highly recommended him. A lot of accolades. I mean, really accomplished. And once he delivered the news that Aidan had spina bifida, he told me, hey, you're young, you're 25, this isn't something that you're going to want to deal with, and so you should probably just start over. So for me, I didn't really agree.
Yeah.
It wasn't a decision that I felt like I could be comfortable with going forward.
Right.
And I didn't feel like it was something impossible.
Yeah.
So, of course, we moved forward, and he kept trying to get me to change my mind, but my mind was made up.
Sure.
So, at about 7 months along, I just stopped getting medical attention from him.
Yeah.
So, I knew what hospital I had to deliver at. I'd already registered there. I said, you know what? I'll just walk every day, take my vitamins, continue to pray about it.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens from there.
Yes.
So that's what we did.
Yeah.
And I mean, immediately I mean, Aiden went right into surgery right after birth. When he was born, his spine was exposed.
Right. So for those people in our audience who might not know what spina bifida is, that is what happens.
Yes. So his spine is not straight. It collects into a ball toward the bottom. Some people, depending on where that defect lies on the spine, that determines how much or how little function you have.
Got you.
Aiden's is lower, so he only has paralysis below the knees. So when he was born, that defect protruded out of his skin. So the spine was open and exposed.
Got it.
So immediately that had to be covered over. Also a shunt had to be put in place, and that's a device in the brain. The spinal fluid travels down his spine, but it hits that defect and it backs up onto the brain.
Got it. And so that would obviously be a problem.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want fluid on the brain.
Right.
So the shunt takes the fluid and reroutes it into the stomach so that he can still absorb it.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yes. So that was off the bat 2 surgeries. Just coming into this world.
Yeah.
He stayed in the NICU for 3 months. He came home at 3 months old. During that time, that was interesting as well because due to the fact that his spine was exposed, he couldn't go through the birth canal, so I had to have a C-section.
Right.
And because he was born a little early, not necessarily premature, but a little early, he wasn't necessarily in place to be born. So the doctors were faced with an option to either take him out one way, which would injure the spine more, or take him out another way, which would fracture his femur.
Oh my goodness.
So fracturing the femur was a lesser of 2 evils.
Right. Oh my goodness.
So that's where we went. So now,
so he has been through a lot just from the get-go.
Yes.
As have you.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Talk about the quote.
I know, right?
But where he stands at times of challenge.
Exactly. So, right, and they're asking me this on the table while I'm, in the middle of my C-section, like, okay, if we go this way, this injures the spine, so we have to let you know that going this way would fracture his femur. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go this way.
Yeah.
So, with a child that young, when you're talking about fracturing bones, you don't cast them or anything.
Right.
They just lay in a certain position and they kind of fuse back together.
Got it.
So in the NICU, he had to lay in a certain position that would not hurt his spine, but would allow his femur to heal.
Got it.
So I could not handle him.
Oh my gosh, so you couldn't even hold him.
No. Yeah, so there were certain nurses that, could handle him and things, and he had to stay in this position, for optimum healing. All of these, wonderful, extraordinary people with all of these skills and talent are the only ones who can do something for my son. I'm just kind of sitting here. And it's like, well, you know what? There's something that I can do that not one of these extraordinary people can do, and that is I can feed him.
Yeah.
So even, I pumped right there at the bedside, and I couldn't even give him the bottle, but, I could give it to the nurse, and so that was my job, and that's what I focused on. That's what I could do, so I did it well.
Yes, yes, right. I mean, that's just, it's like, here we go. There's a time of challenge and what you can do.
Exactly. You have to focus on what you can do and do it well.
Yeah.
If you get bogged down with everything else that's going on, you're not going to go anywhere.
Right.
It's way too much energy.
Right.
So,
like your frustration, you want to give up, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And
self-pity would be right there, right?
Exactly. And I couldn't do that for myself. Like right off the bat, even with being a newborn, I didn't want that energy around. I didn't want him to get used to that type of energy, because I'm like, this kid is going to have a serious road ahead of him. Right now we need to start working on attitudes, positivity, the energy around us. Right. And so that was it. So I read to him, sang to him, and pumped. So that's how we spent our quality time together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we did that for 3 months. their bedside. Yeah.
So from the get-go, you were absolutely a stand
Yes.
for, you know, no matter what, we're gonna keep it positive and keep it moving.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I mean, because what is the alternative?
Right.
You know, that wasn't an option, and I didn't feel like for a child coming into this world, like automatically it's a wash, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like anyone could really tell me that.
No.
You know, I felt like I had to try, you know, and I had to try and offer him options. So with that being said, once he came home,
She's serenading us.
well, thank you. So he came home at 3 months, and we were not sure of what type of movement, mobility he would have. You know, so I said I wanted his options to be open.
Right.
So I had a therapist come in, and she would sit down and show me different massage techniques. At that point, when he came home, he didn't have much movement in his hips at all.
Yeah.
So we focused on the hips and just kind of worked all the way down to the feet. And so she did that once a week, and I did it every day.